Good morning to all of you. In our last class, we have been discussed about total energy in our Einstein relativistic mechanics. Total energy, we found that is in the form of E equal to m0 square c to the power 4 plus c square p square, which is equation number 1. In detail, we have been discussed what you have to write in which way you have to write. That I have been discussed in the last video. Today, we are going to discuss mass energy equivalence and uh, units for energy and momentum, and few interesting problems regarding kinetic theory. Regarding your relativistic kinetic energy and total energy. Okay, so first we have to discuss about mass energy equivalence. What you have to write in this section for mass energy equivalence. Here I am explaining, you just watch and you have to pause the video and you have to write down the note. First you have to put the heading, that is mass energy equivalence. According to Einstein, the mass of the body is a measure of its energy content. That means suppose this is a mass. According to Einstein, this is not a mass, this is also energy. So whatever we are observing or we are in touch surrounding us, all are energy. All the matters have the energy, are the form of energy according to Einstein theory of relativity, or according to Einstein. The energy of the body always equals to how much? Mc square. Mc square. Here m is the moving mass, not rest mass, moving mass. um, with a speed, it is, suppose this is a mass, it is moving with a speed. At that speed, what is the mass and speed of the light is called as the mc square. That means we can say that this mc square is nothing but k plus m0 square. In our last section or last video, we have been also discussed the same thing. This mc square, E is equal to mc square, is nothing but kinetic energy plus m0c square. That means mc square is nothing but is your kinetic energy at that particular time into rest mass energy. So if kinetic energy is zero, that means suppose a body, this body is at rest. Body is at rest. That means total energy is nothing but m0 c square. That means suppose I have a body, I have a body or mass. Suppose this is a mass, this is a mass, and this is not the mass actually. This is one of the form of the energy according to Einstein. This is also energy. How much energy? That is your, if kinetic energy is zero, that will be equal to m0 c square. If kinetic energy is there, suppose a body is moving with a velocity and it has some kinetic energy, then energy is nothing but kinetic energy plus its rest mass energy, that is called E, that is called mc square. So same thing you have to write down, that according to Einstein, the mass of the body is a measure of its energy content. The energy of the body always equal to mc square, and the relation E equal to mc square states that, this is important, states that mass and energy are equivalent. That means whenever we have to say mass, hiddenly we are saying that it is energy. That means whenever we have to write mass, in bracket if I am going to write energy equal to mass, suppose mass m, energy equal to mc square, if I am going to write in this way, there is no mistake according to Einstein. According to Einstein, there is no mistake if I am going to write in this way a sentence, mass or the so-called energy is equal to mc square. There is no mistake. That means every mass is equivalent to energy. Anything have mass. The next sentence is that anything have mass has energy equal to mc square, and anything have energy, suppose it possesses some energy, we are interacting with different type of energy, suppose light energy, heat energy, some other unknown energies. That means those energies have also the mass. So anything have energy has mass, how much? E by mc square. Suppose it is not that much uh, familiar that we have to accept. Suppose this is a candle or a stove is burning here, and you are standing nearby and you feel some heat, or you got some energy, you got some energy. So according to this Einstein theory, you can also say that how much heat, or you can convert that heat energy what you got into the mass. Suppose you got E amount of energy, and how much mass you got, m is equal to E is equal to mc square, and m equal to E by c square. That much amount of mass you got from a burning candle or a burning stove nearby you. In that way we can also explain. Suppose we are going to consider our sun for a particular day, for a particular time, for a particular time. Suppose we got um, we got x amount of energy, x amount of energy from the sun. So how much mass we have been collected from from the sun for that particular time, that mass is equal to this energy x by c square. So this much energy means the mass will be this much. So this mass and energy both are interchanged. That means interlocked, we can say, or we can say equivalent, with the relation that E is equal to mc square. E is equal to mc square. Same thing it has been written, and I suggest you have to write all these things whatever written in this book. Okay, so and anything have energy E has mass equal to uh, E by c square. If a body gains, this is most important line, uh, a body gains or loses any kind of energy, it mass changes, and the change in mass is given by del m equal to del E by c square, because we know that E is equal to mc square. E is equal to mc square. So hence we can say that um, del E equal to del m equal to c square. The change in mass is equal to del E by c square. In this way, change in mass also we can find out. So on the base of this expression, one problem we are going to do in this video. You just watch. So here we found that its mass changes and change in mass is given by this one. You put this equation number as 7 because previous equation number was 6, and as it is continuing the total energy and mass energy equivalence, so you just put 7. After 6 it is 7. So I'm just reading those things, these things up to this much. No need to write in your note. Ordinarily, these energy changes are small and they represent extremely slight changes in mass, but in high energy processes like nuclear fission and fusion, a large amount of energy released when a mass is completely converted into energy. So here you can just write example. You just write example, and you just start from the line that in the high energy, or it will be better, I suggest that you just write, it will be better in a note. You just write in a note this much also you have to write, it will be better. That means at the time of nuclear fission means it has to break down a heavy nuclei. A heavy nuclei is going to be break uh, uh, break continuously, break continuously. So whenever a heavy nuclei is going to break continuously, that means its mass is decreasing. Its heavy mass is decreasing like that, the so called our nuclear fission. Okay, so But in case of our in our macroscopic world, it is very very small, which could not be observed. But in microscopic or high energy physics, we can say, that is written that whenever we have going to consider high energy, that means in case of nuclear fission and nuclear fission, the mass total converted into energy. The heavy nuclei is converted total the high amount of energy. Now, the equivalence between mass and energy is one of the important consequences of the special theory of relativity. This line is not required. Up to this much you have to write. Okay. Then this much you have to write. This is most important lines. One of the most significant consequences of the mass energy equivalence is that the law of conservation of total mass of the system automatically implies the law of conservation of total energy of the system. That means here two law has been conserved simultaneously: law of mass and law of energy. Law of conservation of total mass, law of conservation of total energy of the system simultaneously, it comes into the picture, and both are with both are conserved with each other without violating any uh, physics, we can say. That means here at a time, law of conservation of mass and law of conservation of energy occurs simultaneously. That means these two classical laws embodied in one relativistic law of conservation of mass energy. So in classical, these two laws are separately we have been studied: mass of conservation of mass and conservation of energy. But here, according to relativistic law, this is simultaneously has to be occurred. That means whenever we have to say conservation of conservation of mass, automatically it has to be accepted that conservation of total energy should be present, or vice versa. Total energy conservation means total mass also conserved. So this much you have to write. Then we have to go for the uh, units of energy and momentum, which is required for our uh, doing the problems. The SI unit of energy is joule. We know that and that for the linear momentum is kg into meter per second. One convenient non-SI unit for energy is electron volt. In general, energy is non actually SI unit of energy is joule, but another form it can be written as, but it is not SI unit, but it can be written in the form of electron volt, and it is equal to kinetic energy gained by a charged body whose charge equal to magnitude of the charge of the electron after it moves through a potential difference 1 volt. Then we can say that it is a 1 electron volt. That means if a one charge particle means electron. Suppose this is a electron and it is moving one potential difference, that is 1 volt. It is moving 1 volt. How much energy? How much? This is electron 1 volt gap. Whenever it will move in this gap, how much energy it will possess, that will be called as your 1 electron volt. 1 electron volt. So whose charge equals to magnitude, same thing you have to write. 1 electron volt will be nothing but 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb into 1 volt will be equal to this much joule. That means 1 electron volt is nothing but 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 joule. And here 1 MEV means mega electron volt. This is mega. Okay. So 1 BVB should not be, you should not remember. 1 GeV, that means it is giga. So 1 mega electron volt is nothing but 10 to the 6 electron volt. 1 giga electron volt equal to 10 to the 9 electron volt. This much you have to write down. And these things not required. These things no need to write. Up to this much, whatever I told, in which way you have to write, you have to just write, put the heading, and you just write this much, which will be useful for the problems whenever you have to do the numericals. These things are required. So now we have to go for the simple problems. regarding your electricity kinetic energy and mass energy relations. Okay, so here I am going to explain one by one questions and its solution. You just write down the question and then solution. So here the rest mass of an electron is 9.1 10 to the minus 31 kg. Find the rest mass energy in MeV, mega electron volt, and the rest mass energy will be E equal to m0 c square, and that should 9.1 and 10 to the minus 31 kg into c square into 3.8 into 10 to the power 8, that is meter per second, and this is your kg. Okay, so after multiplication and calculation you can found that will be 8.2 into 10 to the approximate 8.2 into 10 to the minus 14 joule. Okay, so in this joule has to be convert with 1 mega electron volt. You know that 1 mega electron volt is nothing but 10 to the 6 electron volt, and 1 electron volt is nothing but 1.6 in 10 to the minus 19 joule. Okay, so this much joule, uh, that means that implies 1.6 in 10 to the minus 19 joule equal to how much? Equal to 10 to the power minus 6 mega electron volt. Here 1 mega electron volt equal to 10 to the 6 electron volt. 1 electron volt will be equal to 10 to the minus 6 mega electron volt. So here this much that means this much 1.6 in 10 to the minus 19 joule, which is nothing but called as 1 electron volt, will be nothing but is equal to 10 to the 6 10 to the 6 10 to the minus 6 10 to the minus 6 mega electron volt. Okay, so that implies 1 joule will be 10 to the minus 6 by 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19, and 8.2 into 10 to the 14 joule will be into 8.2 into 10 to the power minus 14 joule. And if you are going to calculate, you can find 0.5 approximately 0.511 mega electron volt. You just do it by yourself. Calculation you can do by the rough. Now next question is that calculate linear momentum of a 20k. Here k means kilo. Okay, 200 k kilo electron volt electron. That means one electron which has energy is nothing but 200 kilo electron volt, and find out its linear momentum. How we can find out? See, k is given that 200 keV. That means that means 200 into 10 to the minus 13 electron volt. 1 electron volt is equal to 10 to the minus 6 mega electron volt. So this much electron volt means into this much. So 200 into 10 to the minus 13 electron volt will be equal to 0.2 electron volt, means it will be this much into this much. That means into 10 to the minus 6. Sorry, I done a mistake here. This is plus 3. Okay, kilo electron volt means 10 to the 3. So this much electron volt will be how much mega electron volt? It will be this much into 10 to the minus 6. So 200 into 10 to the minus 3 mega electron volt. That means 0.2 mega electron volt. If we are going to consider it's in the form of mega electron volt. So its energy we found 0.2 mega electron volt, and its corresponding rest mass energy is equal to how much? Is equal to m0 c square. That will be approximately, you just calculate, it will be 0.511 mega electron volt. Here just previous we found mega electron volt, and E total energy is nothing but K plus m0 c square. K plus m0 c square. See, here it is given 200 keV means its kinetic energy is 200 kilo electron volt. So total energy, kinetic energy plus rest mass energy, with this will 0.2 plus 0.511 will be equal to 0.711 mega electron volt. But we have to find out the linear momentum, right? So we know that linear momentum expression previously in our theoretical explanation, maybe you just remember that from this it will be e square minus m0 square c to the 4 by c square and its root over. Okay, so linear momentum will be it will be p equal to e square minus m0 c square uh, m0 square c to the 4 by c and its root over. So we got this value, so we can put over here m0 c square. M0 c square value is this one, so m0 c square whole square value, that means square of this one. So here I can put 0.711 square minus 0.511 square root over by c value. So we can found at last approximately, you can calculate by your rough, so by this much 0.494 by c mega electron volt, we can found the answer. Okay, so do it. First write this question, then you write down the answer in your note. Then this is one of the important question. Determine the mass and speed of an electron whose kinetic energy is 200 electron 200 kilo electron volts. That means kinetic energy is given as 0.2 mega electron volt. Just now I done that. This is 200 kilo electron volt means it will be 0.2 mega electron volt. So 0.2 mega electron volt, and kinetic energy is nothing but m minus m0 c square, right? M minus m0 c square. So that implies mc square is nothing but k plus m0 c square, that is 0.2 plus m0 c square we already determined in the last question, that will be 0.511. This is also mega electron volt, and we found 0.711 mega electron volt, that is our mc square. So m we can found by 0.711 by 3.3 into 10 to the c square. The c square is going to be divided over here to the power 2. Okay, into this much value will be in the form of mega electron volt. So but we need to find out this value in kg form. So 1 mega electron volt we have to put it in the form of joule. So we know that 1 electron volt is nothing but 1.6 in 10 to the minus 19 joule, right? 10 to the minus 19 joule, and 1 mega means again 10 to the power 6 is going to be multiply. So we can found that 0.7 into 10 to the power minus 13 by 3 into 10 to the power 8 square. You got my point? How it will be 10 to the power minus 13? See, 1 mega electron volt equal to 1 10 to the power 6 electron volt, right? 1 electron volt is nothing but 1 into 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 joule. So 19 here 6, so we got minus 13. So in this way we found that m is nothing but, we found after calculation you can found 1.26 into 10 to the minus 30 kg. this value. Okay. Then we know that m is nothing but m0 by 1 minus v square by c square root over. Determine the mass means you have to find out the rest mass. Okay, so m is nothing but m0 by 1 minus v square by c square, and 1 minus v square by c square root over 1 minus v square by c square will be how much? That will be m0 by v square. Sorry, I don't here mass. We found this much. That means at the time of motion, what will the mass? So if we have the speed, after calculation the speed, we can find out its rest mass energy. So this mass is nothing but your at the time of motion. That means the speed. A electron, a mass is moving with a speed. At that time, its mass is this much m. We have been calculated. Now what will the speed that it is asked? So this is 1 minus v square by c square will be m0 by m square. So from here you can find out v will be just will be how much? M0 already you have. M0 is nothing but 9.1 10 to the minus 31, and m is you found in 10 to the minus 30 square. This is 1 minus v square by c square is this much. So v square by c square will be 1 minus is this much, then v will be c square can be multiplied and root over. After calculation you can found 0.691 c. You just another two step you have to do in your note. Okay, see, first you have to write down the question, then you have to write the solution. Then next question, we have to go for the next question. Next question is that compute the speed of the particle whose kinetic energy double its rest mass energy. That means it is k. In the question, it is asked that if k kinetic energy is double the rest mass energy, find its speed. So k is 2e0. That means k is equal to 2. E is nothing but mc square, right? Sorry, m0 c square, m0 c square. Okay, so hence we know that mc square minus m0 c square is nothing but its kinetic energy. We know. So mc square minus m0 c square is nothing but this one, kinetic energy 2 m0 c square, right? So that implies mc square is nothing but 3 m0 c square. Okay, so find out its speed. So here we found that m is equal to 3 m0. Okay, now speed we have to find out how it will be. We know that m equal to m0 by m gamma m0. That means m0 by 1 minus v square by c square root over, and 1 minus v square by c square is nothing but m0 by m square, right? So 1 minus v square by c square is nothing but m0 by 3 m0 square. So from this equation, c value we no need to put direct velocity you have to find out in the term of c. So here you just solve it and you can find v equal to 0.943 c. Okay, write down in your note. Then next question is very simple. Find the energy equivalent of 1 gram of matter. And according to mass energy relations, E is equal to mc square, we know. Okay, then this is very simple question. So it will be mass is nothing but 1 gram is nothing but 10 to the minus 3 kg into c square, 3 into 10 to the 8 square. You can find approximately 9 into 10 to the 13 joule, and you can convert it into mega electron volt as your wish, no problem. Next question is that you have to pause the video and write down. Okay, question you have to write and answer also. Next question number 6. A 10 kg object is lifted to height of 1 meter. So it is a 10 kg object is lifted to the height of 1 meter. So what is the change in mass of this object? And we know that according to mass energy relationship, del m into uh, del E is nothing but del m c square. So change in energy is equivalent to change in mass, or change in mass is equivalent to change in energy. That we know from the mass energy equivalence. So here, if I am going to be lift 1 kg of mass from here to 1 meter, then what will be the change in mass? First, what is the change of energy, or what is the work done we have been done whenever we have to lift 1 kg of mass from here to here? That we have to calculate. That means daily first we have to calculate. So del E is nothing but is your mgh, the amount of work done that you have been done. That is, m is 10 kg, g you can put 9.8 into h 1 meter. So you just done the work of 98 joule of work done. So energy you have been given that 9.8, sorry 98 joule. So how much mass now it will be? Then if energy is this much, so mass will be del m, change in mass, so change in mass will be del is in nothing but 98 by c square, 3 into 10 to the 8 square. And if you are going to calculate, you can find 1.09 into 10 to the minus 17 kg. It is very very negligible. So um, as we just lifted a mass from here to here, we can say that it is a Newtonian dynamics. So in the Newtonian dynamics, the change of mass or length, or the significant mass, length, time is not going to be expected. So only we can expect the change of length, mass and time in relativistic mechanics. So here you can find 10 to the minus 17 order kg changes. That means according to our concept, the change of mass, the initial mass will be 1 kg. And if I am going to be taken from here to here, I done some much, this much of work. So change of mass will be this much. That means this much mass has been reduced from this 1 kg mass, if I am going to do so. Next question, find the increase in mass of a 1 kg copper block if its temperature is increased by 100 K. Specific heat of copper is given by 385 joule per kg into Kelvin. It is one of the important question. And again, I suggest that you have to just write down the question. Okay. Next, this is the question. How we have to do it? So, increasing the mass of 1 kg copper block, its temperature increased by this much. So, the change of energy, or the heat energy gained by the copper block, the heat energy gained by copper block is del is nothing but, you have to write down, okay, 1 into 385 into 100. We know that m is theta, m is del theta. Here m is the mass, 1 kg mass given. Specific heat, S means specific heat. Here theta means change of temperature. Increasing of temperature is 100 Kelvin. So we found the change of energy is approximately 3.8 into 10 to the minus 4 joule. Sorry, 4 joule only, 4 joule. So what is the mass changes? Increase of mass changes or increasing mass, del m will be equal to c square by del E. Sorry, mc square, del E is equal to del mc square. So del m equal to del E by c square. That will be del E is nothing but 3.85 into 10 to the 4 by 3.3 into 10 to the 8 square. Approximately we can get the answer 4.28 into 10 to the power minus 13 kg. This much will be the answer you can get. Next question. A electron is accelerated from rest through potential difference 1 mega electron volt. Find its speed and relative speed. This is the one of the most important question. Okay, most important question. That the energy gained by the electron, that means this is a potential difference. This is a potential difference, and a electron is moving in this potential difference. That potential difference is 1 mega electron volt. Then what is the speed and relativistic mass? The energy gained by the electron will be how much? Del E equal to how much energy it will gain? This much energy, 1 mega electron volt. That means 1 mega electron volt. The 1 mega electron volt, if I am going to be transformed into another unit joule, then it will be how much? We know that 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 joule. Okay, and 1 mega electron volt is nothing but 10 to the 6 electron volt. 10 to the 6 electron volt. And hence this 1 mega electron volt will be 10 to the power 6 into 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 joule. We can found that 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 joule. 1 mega electron volt is nothing but this much joule. So change of mass, how much we can get? That will be del E by c square. That will be 1.6 into 10 to the minus 13 by 3 into 10 to the 8 square will be equal to around 1.11 10 to the minus 30 kg. So this will be the change of mass of the electron when it will move in a potential difference of 1 mega electron volt. Now find the speed and its relativistic mass. So this is the change in mass. We know that whenever the mass is moving with the velocity, its mass changes, means its mass decreased. That means rest mass energy. So del M is nothing but it is your it will be m minus m0. Why it is m minus m0? Because in case of relativistic mass, in case of relativistic particle, when you move approximate velocity of speed, its velocity, its mass is increased. That means am is always greater than that of the m0. So hence del m will be m minus m0. So whenever the particle is moving in the relativistic mechanics, at the time of moving, its mass is greater than that is its rest mass. Okay, so del m will be m minus m0. So hence its relativistic mass m equal to del m plus m0. Del m plus m0. Del m already we found this much. Okay. This much we found, and m0 we know that 9.1 into 10 to the minus 31 kg. So at last we found 2.02 into 10 to the power minus 30 kg. This much we found its relativistic mass. You just see, rest mass is minus 31 and relativistic mass is 10 to the minus 30. That means its mass is increased whenever a particle is moving with a velocity. Now its speed how we can calculate? We know that relativistic mass is nothing but gamma into m0. That means m0 by 1 minus v square by c square root over, right? So here 1 minus v square by c square will be equal to m0 by m square, right? Sorry. See, speed, how we are going to get? We know that relativistic mass is nothing but gamma m0. That means m0 by 1 minus v square by c square root over, right? So here 1 minus v square by c square will be equal to m0 by m square whole square. So m0 we know, and am we found is this much. So you have to put these values, and we can found the velocity of particle is some into c, some amount you can calculate by yourself in your rough into light speed. So these 8 questions you have to write down in your note, and solutions you have to do properly, perfectly. And if you got any doubt, you can ask me. We are going to discuss. Okay. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.